want to be a truck driver? Are you sure? Try that on for size. Whee! All you can see is white. That's a Canadian winter, boys. Woo! So one day's all snowy and crappy, and the next day is like this. Nice and sunny and wet and sloppy. Yeah! Oh, so bad. So let's get her mounted up in the vise, cut her apart, and we'll see why it's so noisy. A warning for headphone users, this might get a little loud. Hot, hot. Remove the safety equipment. Okay, now let's have a look here. Why was this bearing so noisy? Let's have a look here. Yeah, there's the race. That doesn't look too bad. There's the other half. It's gonna go grab a rag and wipe this stuff off and have a closer look at it. Okay, let's have a look at this here. Why it was noisy. Now, you'll see, I got my little pointer here, you'll see here that there's a ring. There's a ring that goes around here. You see that? It's like a darker, like it's dull around here, around the edge. That is, the case harden has been worn off this outer race. You see, if you look up here, see this from here to here is shiny, and then it's dull, and then it's shiny again. That means it is worn through the case hard. Now, it's like virtually impossible to see with the way this setup is, but if you look at it, there's some pitting in there. I mean, it's not too bad, but once that case hard layer has been eaten through, then it's no good for anything. So I mean, this is not bad, but usually when a bearing gets noisy like that, you replace them. I would not put this bearing back inside this bike. Yeah, you can see it on this other half too. So it wore a nasty groove. It's not a groove. I mean, it doesn't catch the little pointy tool. You can't hear it. It doesn't catch the tool, but it's just through that shiny case hard just enough to where bits and pieces are gonna come off and they're gonna get attached to the rollers. And this is what happens when things get hot. Right? Let's see if we can find some pits. You can kind of see it there, eh? Can see that right there? That's in the bearing surface. That's not like a bit on the outside. Piece of crap on that. But yeah, see if I can find some pits. See if I can find some pits in there. Yeah, there's some pits. I don't know if you'll be able to see it here. Yeah, probably not. But right there, there's some pits in it right there. So now we're going to cut the outer cage that holds the rollers in. We're going to cut that off and have a look at the other side. So as Eric O from South Main Auto would say, engage your squints. As easy as that. Now you can just peel it off of here. Okay, I'll take this out of here and have a look. So there's one of the rollers, one of the actual ball bearings. It's kind of hard to tell, but it's not totally shiny. If you look at it, it's kind of dull. And if you look really close there, you can actually see that bit of pitting on it. So yeah, this bearing was toast. So then here's the inner race. Have a boo here at the inner race. You can see where I had cut. And this should show symptoms of the same as the other side there. Well, actually, the inner race is looking pretty good. There's no real dull end. There's no real dull. Well, you can't tell, right? Here's the outer race, where you can see that dull bit. Actually, let's turn the camera here. Maybe we'll turn it like this, out of the light. Yeah, you can kind of see a little bit of there. So yeah, this bearing was done, and there's where I cut. So yeah, that's what it looks like inside one of these. It's pretty easy. The ball bearing rolls between two grooves. You know, and detrimental part to a bearing is how hot it gets. If it gets too hot, goodbye, because the case hard layer just starts to come off, and goodbye. Extracting the bearings, the ball bearings. Oop, there goes one. Tighten that up. Oh, there goes another one. Under the counter. Never get that one back. Across the counter. Alright. See if I can find all those now. I could only find 3. The rest of them took off. But you know, you can see they definitely have a bit of dullness to them. They're not as shiny as they need to be. That's kind of the telltale sign that the case harden is going away. Yeah, there's some nasty stuff on it. Right? Nothing catches your fingernail. But this versus a brand new ball bearing, it looks a lot different. But yeah, so that's what's inside a bearing. That's what's inside of a noisy bearing. So the only thing that made that bearing that noisy was this scuffing on the outer bearing, or outer race. Come on, focus, you junk. Was that ring that goes around there, that ring you can see. And there's a bit of stuff starting to flake off too. But yeah, but if you run your finger in here, you'd never know because it's smooth and shiny. Except for that one little dull ring right in the middle. Oh, yeah, there's a pit right there. You can see right at the very tip of my finger. Alright, so that is what is inside of a bearing. Alright. So dude's got some parts on order, so should be getting back to getting her work pretty soon.